wife and I have done a lot of research at the Grand Canyon. We spend a lot of time at the Grand Canyon. Some people walk up to that canyon and say, "Oh man, it's just a hole in the ground." Other people walk up to it and bow down before it. Sort of depends on their ability to understand the extraordinary. And certainly this river is extraordinary. So you can help yourself focus on that by writing about it, simply, or sketching, whatever you need to do to draw your attention to it. So we're going to talk about what if this river weren't here. Another story that I'm going to work into this is that we are married to our rivers. We're not just living with them, we're married to them, for all that that means. The third story is that rivers can heal themselves and us. I've got 4 degrees in environmental science, and I am an optimistic environmentalist. There aren't many of those. It seems like most people that became environmental scientists are pretty pessimistic. I am optimistic. I think the main ability of humans is to learn and change. It's called evolution, and we're part of it. Ecosystems, like a river particularly, have what we call resilience. They are able to heal themselves within certain limits. If we really, really ruin them, they can't. But so what we have to do is learn how those work and learn to work with them. And that goes back to my analogy of a marriage. You work with your partner. And then finally, my 4th story is to love the river. We say that all the time, but what does that mean? Sometimes we love it to death, and that's not particularly a good thing, but that's part of what we have to learn to do. I'm going to tell a bit of a story in song here, thanks to Jimmy Buffett, and then I'm going to use that story as a way to make what I think is an important part to our understanding of the river. Mother, Mother Ocean, I have heard your call. Wanted to sail upon your water since I was 3 feet tall. You've seen it all. You've seen it all. Watch the men who rowed you switch from sail to steam, and in your belly you hold the treasures few have ever seen. Most of them dreams, most of them dreams. Treasures in the belly of the ocean. I thought I was supposed to tell stories about the San Marcos River. Here I'm talking about the ocean. When we think of treasures in the ocean, Jimmy Buffett said most of them are dreams. He said, they really aren't the buried treasure that actually folks over at the Meadow Center have recently found off the Gulf, in the Gulf. The treasures, though, the treasures in the ocean are the most basic things to us: water, food, and oxygen. And without the ocean, we can't be here. We couldn't live here. Evolution says that we came out of the ocean. The whales had enough sense to go back to the ocean. Maybe sometimes I think they had a good idea. But the water in this river, the water flowing down the San Marcos right over here, I wish we could see the river from here, but the water flowing down that ocean came from the river. Came from the ocean. Water flowing down that river came from the ocean. The hydrologic cycle that evaporates water from the ocean, forms clouds, once in a while forms rain, feeds the aquifer and comes out at the springs and goes down the river back to the ocean, the circulatory system. So I said that the ocean is the source not only of water but also of much of our food and at least half of our oxygen. How many of you like to breathe? Yeah. Hey, breathing's good.
I'm a
How
fan.
many like to eat? Yeah, most of us like to eat. Okay. Couldn't do those without the ocean. Why? What's going on? We couldn't do those, the ocean couldn't produce those things without the river. So if this river weren't here, and the other rivers weren't here, we would not have the food and the oxygen that are so crucial to us. Why? How does that happen? Well, mainly because, I mentioned the Brazos River being muddy. That is sediment. That's the source of nutrients that are used in the estuary to produce 95% of the fish and other sea life species that we use. Plus, those nutrients go out into the ocean to serve as the basis of photosynthesis in the ocean, the phytoplankton in the ocean that takes sunlight and water and produces oxygen. So a muddy river, and the San Marcos does get kind of muddy as it gets downstream. It's clear up here because it's coming right out of the aquifer. But as it goes downstream, it gets a little bit muddy. So that has to be there. The rivers basically are the essential arteries for life on Earth, life that we depend on totally. So a reason, a scientific reason, a scientific story, but a reason for us to really pay attention to the river.